Hi, welcome to your channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. I'm your host, Dr. Ghosh, and I'm back today with another awe inspiring, inspirational video for all of you. Friends, on the previous video on the channel, which was about the valiant queen Keladi Chennamma, I had committed to you that my next video will be about the revolutionary Chapekar brothers. And as committed, I am here today with a video about the revolutionary freedom fighters, the Chapekar brothers, who the pages of Indian history have forgotten. This is my effort to revive their memory. Friends, before I share with you further details about the Chapekar brothers, I'd like to give you a brief about the channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant, and about myself. I'm Dr. Ghosh, and I started this channel 2 years back in an effort to change and mold the thinking patterns of the present and coming generations. My effort, my mission is to ensure that the present and coming generations live by the eternal human principles, which is the only way to success. What are these eternal principles? These are principles such as loyalty, honesty, respect for diversity, respect for womanhood. If and when we live by these principles, conflict ridden mankind will head for its golden era. Today on this channel, we have 1033 subscribers, or as I like to call for them, the transformationists who are transforming the thinking patterns of today's society. 28,500 views and 352 videos already uploaded on the channel. I wish to thank all the transformationists who have joined my family of transformationists. And for those of you who have not yet joined, I request you, please do subscribe to the channel, share these videos with your friends and family, encourage them to join our family of transformationists, because conflict-ridden mankind today requires transformationists so that we can enter a golden era of mankind. Coming back to our story, truly inspiring motivational story of the Chapekar brothers. The Chapekar brothers, Damodar Hari Chapekar, Balkrishna Hari Chapekar, and Vasudeo Hari Chapekar were Indian revolutionaries who were hanged for assassinating the Indian Civil Services officer W.C. Rand, who was then the British Plague Commissioner of Pune, after he heard the religious sentiments of the citizens of Pune. He and his British soldiers and troops undertook vandalism as a means to curb the inspiration and aspirations of the Indian population in Pune, which was then a powerful cantonment of the British Empire. Damodar Hari Chapekar was born in 1869 on 25th June. His brother Balkrishna Hari Chapekar was born in 1873, and Vasudeo Hari Chapekar was born in 1880. They were born in a joint family where the grandfather Vinayak Chapekar was the head of the joint family. Their parents Dwarka and Hari lived along with their grandfather and 20 other members in the family in Pune, which consisted of 6 uncles, 2 aunties, and 2 grandmothers. They were a very rich family and had the revenue of a few lakhs in those times itself. However, Vinayak Chapekar, the grandfather, ran into problems with the British authorities because of his independent thinking and his dislike to bowing to the British authorities. Because of this opposition from the British authorities, they fell into difficult days, and the 3 brothers that is, Damodar, Balkrishna, and Vasudeo had little formal education. But because the father Hari took up singing of kirtans as his profession, they traveled a lot and sang kirtans in multiple darbars of Indian kings and queens and assemblies of scholars, and this education which they gained from these travels was far more important and better than the formal education system of that point of time. Even today, exposing our children to different cultures, different places, different people prepares them better for life. In 1897, the bubonic plague struck Pune. Pune was a very important cantonment for the British colonial rulers, and they used this as an excuse to subjugate the Indian population in and around the Pune cantonment. They brought in public health measures basically to protect the European families who were staying there, but imposed this on the Indian population. These vaccination and sanitization arrangements, including and not limited to forced entry at homes, disrobing of the men and women at home, digging up the homes, disregarding the religious symbols, was used by the British authorities and troops to subjugate the Indian population at Pune cantonment. When the bubonic plague hit in 1897, there were 657 deaths and over 50% of the population fled from Pune. A special plague committee was formed under W.C. Rand of the Indian Civil Services, and he had under his command complete troop and officers from Britain. He used this soldiers, officers, and men from Britain to forcibly enter people's homes of the Indian population, disrobe the men and women there, dig up their homes, do compulsory checking and vaccination, break the religious symbols and idols of the Hindu population, and also who refused to undergo these searches, he charged them with criminal acts and imposed heavy finance penalties on them. Due to the bubonic plague, 2091 people died in Pune. Now, the measures adopted by the British authorities on the Indian population during the bubonic plague in Pune were deeply unpopular, and one of India's premier freedom fighters, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who also wrote in and owned two newspapers, the Kesari and the Maratha, also opposed these measures. Bal Gangadhar Tilak said that the British authorities were using unfair means and unlawful forced entries into people's homes and disregarding the religious sentiments of the Indian population in Pune. As Bal Gangadhar Tilak continued to write against R.C. Rand and his team, it inspired the Chapekar brothers to assassinate W.C. Rand, the bubonic plague commissioner of British Empire, on 22nd June 1897. On 22nd June 1897, the Diamond Jubilee of the coronation of Queen Victoria was being held, and Men and officers of the British Army were expected to go to the government house to join in the coronation celebrations. The brothers took up a spot on Ganesh Khind Road. Damodar and Balakrishna, along with Vasudeo, were armed with sword and pistol. Balakrishna, in addition, carried a hatchet along with him. When they spotted the carriage of R.C. Rand, they were not sure that it was carrying R.C. Rand and he was in it, and they decided and changed their plan that when the carriage was coming back, they would attack it. They went near the government quarters and hid behind a stone culvert there. Around 7:30, sun had set, and Damodar went near the gate and kept a watch. The other two brothers, that is Balakrishna and Vasudeo, hid themselves near the stone culvert near the government house. They did not enter the government house because they felt that with their arms and ammunitions they would be caught. When W.C. Rand's carriage came out, Damodar ran behind it, saying, Gundia Allah. Gundia Allah means the Gunda is here. This was the predetermined signal, and Bala and Vasudeo emerged from the bushes and stone culvert and shot at the carriage. Lieutenant Ayerst, who was the military escort for W.C. Rand, died of a bullet injury on his head immediately. R.C. Rand survived his bullet injuries till 3rd July 1897, where he died of his bullet injuries approximately about 10 days after being shot by the Chapekar brothers. Damodar was immediately arrested and he blamed the atrocities of the British on the Hindu population. He was charged under IPC 302 and hanged on 18 April 1898. Balakrishna Hari, the second brother, was found in 1899 after much search by the British authorities only because he was betrayed by his friend. And Vasudeo Hari, along with Mahadev, Vinayak, Ranade and Khando Vishnu Sathe, were arrested during another attempt to shoot the police chief constable Rama Pandu on 9th February 1899. Balakrishna Hari Chapekar was hanged on 12th May 1899. Vasudeo Chapekar was hanged on 8th May 1899. His colleagues, Revolutionaries, Mahadev Vinayak Ranade was hanged on 10th May 1899, and Khando Vishnu Sathe was a juvenile, and so he was given rigorous imprisonment for 10 years. So ended the life of three revolutionary brothers, the Chapekar brothers. The legacy they have left behind is that one needs to always respect one's religious sentiments. Religious sentiments of all people must be respected. Number two, they left a legacy that fight for what you believe in. The Hindi film industry has recognized the Chapekar brothers with a movie in 2016. In 1979, there was another Marathi movie released on them, and in India, the web series Chapekar Brothers in Marathi was released in 2019 on Z5. Friends, the revolutionary Chapekar brothers who stood for what they believed in and all three brothers fought for what they believed was right. This is my attempt to remember them in our media. Friends, I'll be back soon with another very informative video on your favorite channel, Generous, Gracious, and Gallant. Till we meet again, good luck, all the best. Please do subscribe to the channel.